Hello everybody, this is Noir and welcome back to the Haunted PS1 Demo Desk. Today we're going to be looking at 2, maybe even 3 board games, and we will start with A Place Forbidden. I will be posting any social media in the description for you to... I just closed the game by accident. This game is made by Connor Walsh, also known as Bonsai, and he's actually a former QA tester over at Obsidian Games. Be sure to follow him on Twitter. The Library of Ouroboros and his vast store of occult knowledge is finally within your reach. In the end, it was almost too easy to find. The Library of Ouroboros, I'm finally here. It's almost anticlimactic to stand so easily within its walls after all those years of searching. If the rumors are true, the library contains knowledge beyond anything one might hope to find on Earth. Words of power, occult verdicts, and not to transcend death. It will be mine, all of it. I just need to know where to look. A transcript. I've been having these nightmares, Doctor. I'm alone, but I don't feel alone. Not like I should. Rather, there's no one with me, but that's not to say there's nothing around. It's difficult to explain, but it is an uncomfortable feeling. Something drones low in the background all the while. I can hear snatches of whispers, but only just barely. Like something is conversing with me just out of my range of hearing. Just as something is watching, just out of my sight range. Everything's too still. It's wrong. I don't remember how I got there, and I can't figure out how to leave. Everything is all hallways upon hallways, shelves of books that look like they've never been opened. Almost all of them are still, and yet I get a feeling like I mustn't open any of them, whatever I do. There's a pull toward them, of course, the sense that I will learn more than I could ever hope to on Earth. But there's a danger, a vague creeping danger. The feeling that something is very, very interested in every move I make. Who or what it might be, I don't know. I don't know if it wants to bring me in, or if it wants me to leave. How does it end? Well, as I mentioned, there's no real way to escape. Every place I go to leads to more rooms, but eventually, after a time, I don't really hear them as much as I feel them. Look no further. Look no further. Look no further. And then I wake, and every time I feel farther from this world. To be honest, Doctor, it's all in my imagination. I hope I'm afflicted with some kind of mania, because a place like that can't exist, shouldn't exist, and if it does, I can only hope that no one else would be so unfortunate as to visit it. Sounds very Lovecraftian. I'm interested. Novels, science fiction, and fantasy, as well as a few straight romance novels. Books on philosophy, history, and a few straight encyclopedias, nothing useful. A few volumes stand out on math and physics, but the rest are far more obscure wings of science. Interesting, but not what I'm looking for. This section contains mostly horror novels, Hall's Roll, biographies. I've heard of none of these people. The Minister's Doom, Act 3, Scene 2. Bernice enters, followed closely by the Librarian. Bernice is breathless, looking both exasperated and slightly excited. The librarian's expression is unreadable as per usual. But my husband will find out about this. He won't stay out forever. I wouldn't be so sure, my dear. But we shall retire to the living room if we're to speak of such a pleasantness as your husband. Bernice's face breaks suddenly into a grin. She grabs the librarian's hand, taking him onto the couch beside her. Fine then, if you're here to say I want to hear some of those secrets you keep talking about. You can't blame me for the fool forever. I would never claim to do such a thing, my dear. Would you care to hear how I can stop a human heart with but a word? Goodness, that sounds dangerous. It most certainly is. I wish to hear it. Then, of course, you shall. He leans close to Bernice, who closes her eyes as if expecting a kiss, but the librarian leans past her, whispering something in her ear. Bernice's eyes open wide. She gives a single jerk, a strangled groan, and goes limp, sliding off the couch. Too curious for her own good. He stands, reaching in one of his pockets to withdraw a single black case containing Bernice's wedding ring. Taking a cursory look around the living room, the librarian eventually focuses on a single point on the opposite side. The librarian crosses the floor, leaves his item, and turns to leave. As he does so, the scene darkens, leaving only a single spotlight to illuminate the stage. It is fixed on a small black case, which the librarian has decided to leave sitting atop the minister's writing desk. A partial history of the library. The Library of the Ouroboros wasn't so much as built as it simply came to be. That much we've been able to glean from the early murky tales about a certain endless structure rich in occult knowledge. The first tale was penned by an unnamed Gallic mystic, who compiled a variety of accounts from travelers complaining of strange dreams. Many of the travelers' accounts of the place were the same: endless hallways of strange materials, magic devices that seemed to give off lights or sound without any visible source. But rarely there were more tangible details aside from these characteristics, and the font of knowledge reading the walls of the place. This is of course changed in approximately 670 when the mystic was visited by a lone woman, reportedly wild-eyed, half-mad, and complaining of dreams much the same as her fellows. But she claimed that these dreams became reality, briefly, and that she at one point even visited that bleak place. She claimed to run into a dark, amorphous figure with a score of glowing red eyes. The figure apparently spoke to her, promising her black knowledge should she only pledge herself to it. Though the mystic asked how this woman escaped such a place, the woman gave him no explanation. In fact, she spoke no further, withdrawing from the mystic's hut to begin her traveling anew. She was never seen or heard from again. This testimony is hardly a concrete example of the library's existence, but it certainly makes one wonder. If tales like this could exist from the earliest days of modern man, whatever truths could lie buried deep in the past, should one be so willing to tunnel through the cobwebs of years to reach the ancient tales hidden beneath? On the Founder. They came to the domain, blank canvas in the cosmos, from places unknown and old as time. They have existed longer than man, longer than the sentient stones of Ur, longer than the cosmic force that runs through all things. They have always been. They saw the ruin, the curse, through the universe, the constant in and out of flux of entropy. And with entropy went items of worth, and it was that worth that they sought to salvage. Not things, ideas, thoughts. Power intangible. Through the years they've reached, for their powers were immense. Through eons they snatched up secrets, dark and light. But it wasn't long before all became too much even for those ancient. The remaining pages have been torn out of this book, and their place is a single piece of lined paper, with untidy scrawls standing upon it in red ink. The key to go forward could have been deciphered from the last word in each of these books, but I tore them out. I couldn't let anyone else go any deeper. Sorry, but trust me, it's better this way. As you close the book, you can make out a single word scratched, not written, into the inner cover. Your predecessor must have missed it, or else it was made after the note was placed. Telephone. Yeah, I'm getting Call Cthulhu vibes from this. I don't hear anything. Welcome message from all our staff. Welcome. We're glad you're here. And we're sure you're aware the Library of Ouroboros is located in the picturesque part of Britain atop a grassy knoll east of Sussex. Many rural townships, honestly bereft of their own libraries, refer to their villagers to the library. It is beloved by all. We hope you're taking your time pursuing our vast stores of literature, non-fiction, fiction, occult knowledge, cursed knowledge, words melt the eyes of anyone who reads them, psalms, murder, and otherwise. You'll certainly have enough time, Bernard. You'll certainly have time enough. Key. The store is immobile. I can only imagine what strange arcane secrets lie beneath its varnished structure. That book mentioned my name. A coincidence. Nothing more. Besides, it was mistaken. The library wasn't in England. I found it in the German city of Oberg, sequestered away behind an ancient church. Such a small, unassuming front, as if looking so quaint it might hide from the rest of the world. Those are definitely footsteps. You're an avid reader, aren't you, Bernard? You can't read these books, but don't fret. They'll pave your road to new knowledge. If you're stuck, think of yourself like a cataloger or a librarian. That's a nice ring to it, doesn't it? The case toward the window seems as good a place as any to start. The case towards the window. This window over here. A fridge is seen. There was some fog outside earlier. Was that like that before? 4653. Counting the books on there. Yep. Finally, here's hoping that's the last of the locks. Yeah, I was too fixated on these windows. Seems like something trying to board this room off. I can't remove the nails with my hands. Screwdriver. There we go. Ah, I'm being attacked by the board. Here we go. This is possible. Alright. Picked up something. You'll regret it. 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 Something is wrong. I need to leave now. You said it. Something is scratching. It's endless. It is endless. Your mind is... I wouldn't like that.
We see your curiosity, your potential. We have something more in mind for you. We think you like it.
Thank you for visiting our library. So that was a demo for A Place Forbidden. It's very Lovecraftian, and I appreciate that, as if playing Darkest Dungeon and such wasn't an indicator. And here is where to follow the development of this game. And when the game is fully released, I will definitely be checking it out. Our second game for today is Heartworm, which is made by Vincent and Aden Nafalfi. I do not know how to pronounce that. Sam receives a strange shape in the mail. Watching it brings her to the deeply unsettling place that feels strangely familiar. Anyway, so I've heard this game is basically more survival horror-esque, like Silent Hill and Resident Evil, and I can't wait to try that out. Ooh, okay. Clinical's evaluation. Subject: Sam, redacted, 35-year-old female, average height, weight, no relevant medical history. Patient reported insomnia, recurring intrusive thoughts related to self-harm, harm to others, low self-esteem, obsessive tendency, episodes of panic and high baseline anxiety, 7 to 10. Patient described these symptoms as chronic and varying in severity, possibly related to traumatic experiences from childhood. Patient also mentioned social relationships suffering as a result of symptoms. Observation: preliminary labs returned normal, heart rate and blood pressure elevated. Patient avoided eye contact and appeared anxious. She only spoke when quired. Patient appeared detached, preoccupied with thoughts. Assessment: the following diagnoses are based on currently available information and may change as additional information becomes available. Post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety disorder, unspecified, major depressive disorder, recurrent, moderate, panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder. Plan: need to gather more information. Patient referred to psychiatrist for further evaluation and urged to follow up at clinic in 7 days. Patient encouraged to research exposure therapy. Oh. Also, wow, sounds like our character's life kind of sucks. I picked up the VHS tape. I haven't left the apartment in a week. That's not going to change now. Let's see what's on it. That's a cool camera shot. Oh, it kind of got ruined with her model clipping into it. Hello. Do you remember? Remember what? The doors are locked. The car looks so familiar. What's going on? I have a feeling we go into this house. Let's try the front door before going to the shed over there. It's locked from the other side. I knew it. There's a red light over there. Hello. How are you doing today? Goodbye. The garage door won't budge. The opening is too small to crawl through. It looks like some kind of hatch. The doors won't budge. I'm definitely wondering what that is over there, but I guess we won't find out. Not yet. A handful of non-fiction novels. Nothing particularly interesting. I beg to differ. The TV won't turn off. There's a VHS player. There's no tape in it. The stairs are completely blocked off. Hallucinations is a trauma-based memory. Implications for psychological interventions. Routine information processing involves a process called contextual integration, whereby detailed encoding of incoming stimuli takes place, which facilitates later memory recall. For example, being able to remember who was at your birthday by recalling a full contextual image of the event. Also being able to remember what happened before and after a specific event due to the integration of relevant temporal information. However, during a traumatic event, the need for a quick behavioral response requires rapid information processing. This is achieved through a temporary decrease of contextual integration and a quick response based on the perceptual processing. The provision of a rapid response to danger has the consequences of a vulnerability to experiencing intrusive memories of a stressful event at a future date. Reduced contextual processing of the trauma stimuli makes it difficult to recall on a voluntary basis due to the lack of integration of cues which normally facilitate recall. However, the information is typically triggered involuntarily by stimuli which have a perceptual match to some aspect of the traumatic event. Example of sound or visual stimuli that invokes memory of the event. Therefore, within these theories, reduced levels of contextual integration are considered central to the development of trauma-related intrusive memories. Thereafter, the intrusions may be maintained through a number of cognitive and behavioral processes, such as avoidance, in order to develop a presentation of PTSD. However, in order to be diagnosed with PTSD, the individual or the clinician is likely to be confident that the intrusions are in fact memories of a stressful event. A number of pages are destroyed. In summary, the relationship between hearing voices, seeing visions, and traumatic events continues to intrigue clinical researchers. However, a full theoretical understanding remains elusive. The subgroup of voices and visions which are directly linked to stressful events are likely to be responsive to interventions which are based on a well-developed theoretical understanding of reactions to trauma. I picked up the key. I'm sorry, it was in capital letters, so I had to say it like that. More books than I would know what to do with. One of them is missing. Ooh. Wait, is that... Oh, I didn't notice this door. Is this to the garage? Yes! A lot of VHS tapes on the floor. Also, I did notice a book on top of the ceiling, but I don't know how to get to it. Narcissus and Goldmund, Herman Hesse. He thought that all men trickled away, changing constantly until they finally dissolved, while the artist's created images remain unchangeably the same. He thought that the fear of death was perhaps the root of all art, perhaps also of all things of the mind. We fear death. We shudder at life's instability. We grieve to see the flowers wilt again and again, and the leaves fall, and in our hearts we know that we, too, are transitionary, and will search for laws and formulate thoughts. It is in order to salvage something from the great dance of death, to make something that lasts longer than we do. Perhaps the woman after whom the master shaped his beautiful Madonna is already wilted or dead, and soon he too will be dead. Others will live in the house and eat at his table, but his work will still be standing hundreds of years from now and longer. It will go on shimmering in the quiet church, unchangeably beautiful, forever smiling with the same sad, flowering mouth. Okay. I flipped the switch. I didn't realize I can shove objects. I picked up the red book. The rescue creepy painting in the weird old house. No surprises here. I placed the fake book in the empty space. Aha. Alright. Moment of truth. Hundreds, maybe thousands of VHS tapes, each one is dated. It seems like they go back decades. Before VHS tapes even existed? Letter from T. Sam, I tried calling, but your phone is disconnected and I didn't know what else to do. Everyone is worried. Your boss called Mom and said you stopped showing up. I called Jane, but she said she's not talking to you anymore. I know I haven't always been there for you, but if you need anything, I want to help. What's going on with you? Is this about what happened? It was 10 years ago, Sam. It's not your fault. You can't hang on to this forever. I love you. Please, call me. T. Yeah, it seems like Sam has had some kind of traumatic event happen to her. Clearly, I mean, that's pretty clear. But I'm just wondering what. She feels guilty for something. And I wonder if this is when we're gonna find out what it is. I don't know what moving those bookshelves did. See you again. Okay, yeah,
Do you remember the first time you realized that one day you were going to die? Do you remember the way that fear ran through you, like electricity? The way it consumed your thoughts? The way it paralyzed you? Do you remember that day? Don't worry. I'll remind you.
I was wondering if the static figure is supposed to be Sam herself. Very interesting. I'd like to see how it concludes. It was also very depressing. I hope that she gets everything sorted out. Anyway, as our final game, we're going to do something that seems to be a little bit more lighthearted, called Tasty Ramen. This is made by Marcus Horde and Elena Dowling. A colorful horror game about a haunted ramen mascot. And I think this will get the depressive taste out of our mouths. So let's begin. Hot horror flavor. Oh hey, welcome to the special gameplay demo version of Tasty Ramen. Just a quick explanation before we start. You can run while holding the shift key. You can grab items by pressing E. You can place them again by pressing E again. Pressing the left mouse button makes you throw them. Remember, items that can hit the ground can make attracting noises. One last thing, if you get tired of the game, escape lets you leave right away. That's it, let's go, huh? Okay. So we're just looking for all these keys. Hello. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Ah, shit. Ouch, strike. Fuck, 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 fuck. Oh, jeez, that's horrifying. Nope, nope. Got that. We just need 3 more. He's going that way. Let's grab this. There's one right there. Shit, 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 shit. Okay, 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 okay. We got this. We got this. No! No, fuck, 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 fuck! Oh, I did it. Okay. Hi, you did it. Very impressive. Hope you enjoyed this gameplay demo. You know, if you want to catch up with the latest development, just go here. So be sure to check out Ciactro, both there on Twitter. Hope to see you in the next version. Now go through that door before I start crying or something. You think I won't just stand here and just stare at you? That was Tasty Ramen, Heartworm, and A Place Forbidden. I hope you enjoyed all 3 games. Feel free to subscribe and follow along. Watch the first episode if you haven't of the Haunted PS1 Demo Disc, and I'll see you in the next episode. Have a good day, everybody.